Ciao ragazzi, tutto bene? Adesso vediamo. Grande Paco, come stai? Tutto a posto? Che si dice a Barcellona? Tutto bene? Grande presidente. Yo Stefan, what's up? Bene, bene, bene. Ciao Ali, mi sentite? Tra 5 minuti incominceremo, grande Omar, incominceremo la diretta con JP Primiano, un filmmaker di New York, e come con Nils e come con Kevin parleremo un po' di tutto quello che sta succedendo adesso a New York, con appunto questa storia qua del Covid-19, o anche conosciuto come coronavirus, e parleremo dei suoi progetti, del suo modo di filmare, di qual è la missione che ha ButterTv e di molto altro. Quindi dai, vediamo se si connette. Appena si connette partiamo. Nel frattempo saluto Gregory, Calleo, Jomar, Matt, grandi, Jason, what's up? Yep. Mi dicono di fissare in alto, però non sono. Colombia rappresent. Allora, vediamo se. Ciao Calleo, come stai? Tutto bene? Sei in Portogallo? Ciao Sven.
C'è Butter.
Yeah, yeah, remember Jason, I remember pretty well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bien? So let's see if JP is here. Oh yeah, he does. So in English. All right. We're waiting for JP to be connected. All right. Coming in. Yeah.
Yo,
What's up?
what's going on? How you doing out there?
Fine. Trying to survive.
Yeah, I hear you. Same thing over here. We're about to be just like you, and by tomorrow we'll be in
Yeah.
too.
I've seen it from the news today that like you guys are going to be locked down quite soon, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. So everybody's shopping today. Everybody's going crazy. I did some shopping yesterday, and the store's pretty much empty. So
Really? Oh my goodness.
got some old bread, I guess.
Oh my. Like the 2 days, 3 days old bread.
Yeah,
Super
it's all right.
stiff.
It works. Bread and peanut butter sandwiches. We'll be surviving.
Yeah, great. But like, are they going to say that like all the stores are going to be closed, or like, did you get any chance to go on those grocery store during
I'm
the
not
week?
100% sure. I mean, everybody's saying something different that I talk
Mm-hmm.
to. Everybody's panicking, saying by next week everything's gonna be closed. And I don't think that. I think stores they have to be open because people have
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
shop. And I mean, I have a baby, so I have to get diapers. I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And things like that. So the
how old
essentials
is
will be
she?
open. She's 7 months. She's
Oh,
7 months.
really? Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. My
Great,
little
glad to
beauty
hear
turned me into a mush. Having a girl turned me into an absolute mush.
that. Great. But listen, tell me how's the feeling right now in New York? I mean, I've seen a couple of pictures around, and it looks super empty and kind of a calm. Is it like that, or?
Yeah. It's kind of eerie in a way. It's almost like when World Trade happened. Everybody
Oh
was
my
just
goodness.
home. Everybody was shooken up quite a bit. I
Yeah.
mean, there's also people who just couldn't care less and are still out and about and
Mm-hmm.
doing their thing. We'll see after tomorrow
All
if
right.
those people are still out
Okay.
running around and or if police will take it very seriously. We'll see. But yeah, it's pretty empty. People that I know from Brooklyn have been sending me pictures, and it's like places that are so busy that are happening are completely empty. And then same
No
thing with like
way.
Manhattan. I mean, we had ideas to film something in the city, like hard to skate spots, but now that we're on lockdown, there's no way that we're
I
gonna do
mean,
that.
yesterday, Kevin, he just told me that like it's almost the same thing in Amsterdam, but like up there, like the police are not that into the streets yet, and so they
Right,
are able to skate spots that usually are like kick out spot in a minute. And
right.
so, but I don't know. I mean, here you aren't able to go anywhere in the city because right now, from yesterday, I think the army is in the streets as well.
Oh my gosh.
So within like the police and other different types of police, because we have like three different types of police, and then like the army, it's kind of hard to go around to the city. But yeah, I mean, it's
It's
That's
crazy.
kind of, yeah. I mean, we'll see how it gets here. We'll see. I mean, the governor's up there, and he's trying to keep a very level head. He's trying to
Yeah,
like
yeah. It looks like, and I know it sounds weird, but like I do think it's like the best way to stay everybody home and not sharing, like not being around in crowded places because
right.
it's what we did here in Milano. And look at us right now. I mean, yesterday we had like a lot of death. Same thing like the day before yesterday and stuff like that. So
Wow, it's crazy.
yeah, it is. We never felt anything like that. Not even before, like not even during the Second World War. I mean, it was. I heard it like during that time, like schools, universities, and then all these things were open, even if they were like bombing the city. And right now, everything, literally everything, is shut down. Besides like grocery, because of course people need to get supplies to survive and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. People were mentioning that how much we prepare for war, and then something like this happens, and
Like out of nowhere, like nobody were. And what about your job? I mean, like you're a freelance filmmaker,
oh,
right?
I'm out of work. No work. I
Same
got
thing here.
I got emails, and they were saying, no shoots will be going on until further notice. So I'm pretty much out of work right now. My wife works in a hospital, which is kind of
Mm,
nerve-wracking for me.
wow.
But she works part-time, so I
Hmm.
think right now they're working in shifts. So she does maybe 2 days on, and then the rest of the week off. And I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. They're still trying to figure it out. But if this thing gets any worse, she might have to be there for, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see. Um,
harder shift and stuff like that, right?
yeah, yeah. I know
Mm-hmm.
when it's like there's like a protocol for when there's a serious emergency that doesn't matter what your role is. If you're a nurse, a doctor, you could be the janitor, and it's just all hands on deck. Whoever's there has to help out,
It
and
has to be there and help and stuff like that, right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
hopefully that doesn't happen. It doesn't get
yeah.
like
I really hoping for you guys that, and like
yeah.
I'm really hoping that like we are going to back to the normal schedule as soon as possible
Oh, I'm
because
hoping so.
I am as well like a video maker, and like the clients like texted me 3 weeks ago, hey, we need to postpone
Yeah,
this, and that project until we don't know when. So yeah,
right. And it sucks, but everybody is suffering. It's not just us,
yeah, yeah.
freelancers. It's everybody. So it's not like you know I don't
One
complain
specific
or get too
category.
upset because we're all in it together. It's
Yeah,
it's not
so
like
my
this
so
is
my
my job only.
exactly. It's the same feeling that I do have. I mean, of course, I'm kind of worried because, of course, we need to pay taxes and everything. But at
Yeah,
least here in Italy, like the government says, we are going to help everybody because it affects everybody from like a freelance video maker till the teacher in school. So like all the category, like jobs category, are going to be hidden by that. So we as a government are going to help you guys, hopefully, because otherwise I don't know how can I pay my taxes. So.
skating, man, skating,
Yeah,
skating,
yeah.
money, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm making like a big lot of money with skating. So, what
That's crazy.
about tell me something more about Bata TV? As you know it, I'm a big fan of your project, and for
Thank
the
you.
who for the people who's here and listening to this thing, JP is doing like this thing called Bata TV, which is like a pretty cool project of skating videos. And in my opinion, they are pretty cool. One, they're like first thing first, soundtrack, then color grading, the way he filmed it. So yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah, yeah. Why did I start Butter TV? I mean, I've always filmed skating for a long time. I think since I was in eighth grade. So I don't even know how many years ago that was by now. Probably 20 years ago, maybe
Wow,
something like that.
crazy.
But at the time, it was just everything was on VHS. So it was just
Mm.
like whoever I can get footage to, like it sent footage to Dave Payne when he had the East Coast VGs, and
Oh
hopefully
my
like
goodness.
somebody would get a clip in there, really just to help everybody else out. And then for a while, I don't know why. I think I just stopped because everybody was just asking for footage at that point, and it was like, all right, like we'd put a lot of work in to get footage, and then it would end up in like someone else's video that I don't even know how it got there, and I'm like, ah, I don't know. And then years later, with VODs, everybody's putting out VODs, and they're all really good. I'm always supporting them, but the problem is only rollerbladers are seeing it.
Mm,
It's not like
mm,
the rest of the world is seeing it, where it's like if you watch a skateboarding video today, maybe a recommended video would be like a rollerblading video afterwards. And so that's kind of what I try to do with Butter TV is just, especially with events, so that people could see like what the vibe is like, and see like, you know, a whole community of people coming together. It's not just about putting tricks together and just a highlight thing, because other people already do that. So what else could I do to portray rollerblading and make it look cool and exciting, and maybe, you know, even if it's one kid, that's all it takes is one kid, and that could be the next Dustin Latimer or the next Brian Shima, you know, and then that can inspire the next generation of kids. So that's pretty much it. It's very simple, and first and foremost, I am a huge fan of rollerblading. You know, I love it. I think about it all the time. So just to be at an event and just film it is like it's like a treat for me. You know, I love filming anyway. I love sitting at home and editing. Like this quarantine thing is in the silver lining anyway, is that I have so many projects that I can finally finish now. You know,
Okay.
Winterclash and all these other things. And that's what I enjoy doing pretty much.
And like you said before, there's something that makes you, in my opinion, like out of the like makes your edit outstanding. It's the fact that like you can feel the vibe of the event that you're filming, because it's not only trick after trick after trick. It's like trick and then somebody's opposing, or like, I don't know, there's like some sort of vibe that really get me motivated, and like it really hyped me up to go out and skate and enjoy your video. So yeah, really.
Thank you. I mean, I always try to like look for small like memorable moments. I was talking to somebody about the England video a long time ago, like Volume or something like that, where there's really good skating in it, but there's like little tidbits, and even if it's like a split second, I feel like your brain kind of like fills in like a blank somewhere. Like if you show somebody like celebrating, or you show even like something atmospheric where like, you know, they're in London obviously, and it could be like the birds flying around, and just, I can't explain it, or like showing architecture really quickly and then showing another trick, and like it just kind of changes the vibe rather than just showing trick after trick.
Exactly.
You know, it gets repetitive. I feel like rollerblading has been around for so long that, at least for me, like just seeing trick after trick, I'm like, all right, I've seen this before. And not to put anybody down, because I still think there are some incredible skaters, but I think now that I'm a little older, I'm kind of looking for, I don't know, maybe like a vibe or something like that. Like like if you watch what Dom West does with all his pieces, if you watch the Blading Burma piece, like I thought that was a masterpiece, or the one that he did in London, that was incredible.
Yeah, that one was outstanding.
Right.
Video.
Or like what Mike did with AOS. You know, I feel like everybody is kind of on the same page, like trying to show a little bit more than just skating. At least the bigger names. You know, if you watch like an Erod video, you know that he's representing the West Coast really well. And
True.
You know, Mike, what he's doing with them skates, and when they were in Barcelona. Oh no, it wasn't Barcelona. Where was
Ellis.
I forgot where it was, but in Spain, and like again, you felt the vibe. What Nils does, and the list goes on. I can just, you know, name drop everybody.
No,
true. Everybody's doing a really good job.
It's pretty cool to see that, like right now, everybody is trying to transmit vibes and tricks at the same level, or maybe sometimes there are like more vibes than just tricks, you know, and like you can get like really get into the video and really motivated to skate and go out and skate because you've seen the video and you want to feel the same vibe that you had when you were watching the video earlier, right?
Right. And maybe it'll just inspire people just to come out and hang out. I mean, you don't have to come out and just, you know, skate your hardest to impress people. Just show up, have a good time, have a beer, you know, talk.
True.
So
exactly.
That's kind of what I try to push forward, is just, you know, just to, I don't know, inspire somebody who doesn't even know about skating, and just be like, maybe I'll come to the next Boshi Pope skate off and, you know, have a good time. I have friends that I grew up with that actually don't skate, and he came to one of the Boshi Pope skate, and he had a blast. I turn around and he's like working the barbecue grill, and he's serving people steak. I'm like, what's going on here? But that's what
amazing.
it's about, bring people together.
Crazy. There was something that I wanted to ask you. Like, are you like, do you have any relative from Italy? Because your surname looks like an Italian one, don't you? I mean,
my grandpa's from Italy, so
really?
I definitely have family somewhere out and about in Bari.
Ah, really?
Right. Yeah.
Puglia is the name of the region.
Okay, yeah.
Great. Have you ever been here, like here in Italy in general, or?
Yeah. I've been there right after last year's winterclash. I met my wife in Italy, and we started in Venice, and then we went. Where did we go?
Milano.
Went to Florence. We did Rome, obviously, and a couple other places. It just kind of bounced around, and
Did you
It was
guys
a
enjoy? Did
blast.
you guys enjoy
Of course,
the
of course.
country?
I didn't want to go home. I never want to go home. I mean, I love traveling. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
super nice, super nice.
it does. And right now you're living in Brooklyn, right? You said to me at the Winter Clash.
I'm living in Queens.
Oh, Queens. All right,
Queens,
which is
yeah.
like the next neighbor to Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're
Alex
all pretty
Nunez.
close together. I mean, a short train ride, or if you have a bicycle, you could just ride from borough to borough pretty
Mm-hmm.
easily. Yeah.
And Alex Nunez was from Queens, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
He didn't live too far from us. Back when I was skating, it was usually like me, Alex, Sam,
Wow.
yeah, Thomas, Andy, Justin Brosco, and who else? Those are like the more, I guess, like closer neighborhood people. But everybody
Mm-hmm.
did skate together. We all met in Manhattan,
Great.
and that was like before cell phones. So it was just like you just had to wait. If someone was 2 hours late, 3 hours late, sometimes they'd
You had
show
to
up at
wait.
night, and the session would just go on. People would come and go.
Dude,
That's how it was back
amazing.
then. Yeah.
There's a spot, the John Bound in
Yeah,
Queens, right? Are
that's not
they
too
still
far from
there?
me.
No way, dude.
Yeah,
I wish you would like that's my one of my gold spot. Like I need to go there in New York and skate those rails because they are so legendary.
let's go, let's go. I always joke around with people. I say we should throw a competition here. It'd be like the
Like
showdown
back in
at
the
Sean
day,
Down or something, you know?
like when was it? Like 2001 or 2002, where
Yeah,
Sean Green did a lot of crazy stuff in there. Even Dustin Halloran probably in
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those
Everybody,
New York.
everybody. The funny thing with that spot is that so many tricks went down that weren't even filmed.
Really?
Like way back then. I could talk about it for days because people would just show up there and just skate it. It was it's one of those spots now where it's like I'm not going to skate there because so and so did this there or this guy did that, and it's like yeah, but that was back then, and now we have a different camera. You know, we could shoot it differently, but nobody's ever up for the idea. So hopefully, if someone's listening now, maybe they'd be like, yeah, maybe we should go back there and
Dude, I
have a
really,
session.
if there was that Corona thing and like I had the money, I was like, I'm going to be like flying ticket tomorrow and flying to New York to skate those rails.
You should book your tickets now. It's probably cheap.
Exactly. It
I
could be
was actually
like,
looking at tickets to go to Blading Cup, and I was
uh-huh,
like, well, maybe now I should just pre-plan everything and just start booking stuff, and
yeah.
maybe it'll be cheaper. But
You hear like yesterday we received like an email from EasyJet and told us, hey guys, if you would like to buy your flying ticket, they're all of them 40 euro or something like that.
my God,
So yeah, it's pretty cheap. And one of the question that people asked me was which kind of equipment are you using in the choice of the music, like where all of these hip hop track are coming from, and
okay, I'll start with the equipment. The camera-wise, Canon C100 Mark II.
mhm,
The lens was kind of it was like a stock lens that I got with a DSLR. The 24 to 105 f4. That's one of my go-tos, and then the 16 to 35 millimeter is another go-to, and obviously a fisheye. It's Canon 8 to 15 millimeter,
wow,
and what's the last one? And then sometimes the 70 to 200. It's kind of a bulky lens. I always
big
regret
one.
not bringing it to certain events, like we did powwow recently, and I was like, that lens probably would have came in handy, but it's heavy. It's heavy, and I do everything handheld, so I don't know. My bicep would probably explode by the time I'm done
Yeah,
filming that
within
thing.
the wall thing. Yeah, true. So
Yeah,
you were at
I
the
shot part of the
powwow?
Bashi Pope skate off with that, and my arm was just killing me. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah, that's it.
Damn.
But it looks really good. That's the trade-off. So,
Mm,
and then
mm,
as
mm.
far as music goes, I always look for like older samples,
Mhm.
like there's a website called Bandcamp, and it's like independent people, and uh, a lot of times they're sampling older songs, like kind of like what hip hop used to be. You know,
Mhm.
finding old samples and turning into like certain beats or whatever. If you listen to, I'll go back to the Bashi Pope skate off again. Like there was like an Aretha Franklin sample, and or like Blading Cup had the Jackson 5 song blended in with OPP and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I grew up on. I know when people talk about skating back in the day, how much they enjoyed it. For me, it was because that was the music. That's
Same
kind of what
thing
I needed.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Where like today, I don't knock today's stuff, but it's just I don't know. Maybe not to sound old, but like it just doesn't always work out for me too well. I'm like I try, or it sounds good in the car, but for me it doesn't remind me of rollerblading. So I
Mhm.
always go back to that kind of music, and because people are sampling other songs, it's not like I'm taking their original work and just trying to make my own video off of it. It's like, all right, well, you know, remix that song, so I'm gonna take your song and make it work for this. So it's like, it's kind of like you're stealing from this guy and I'm stealing from you, kind of thing. Sometimes I do reach out and I'm like, hey, I like your music, and there's like 4 songs that I would like to use in this edit, and I show them, and usually I get a positive response. If I'm unsure, I just don't even ask. I'm just like, you know what, because if they say no, then, you know, I won't be able to use any of their songs in the future.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know.
And is there anything like up and coming from ButterTv?
Absolutely, there's always something. I'm
Awesome.
always behind.
The
Right
editing
now,
thing.
right now I'm working on the powwow edit that we shot. I actually have it right in front of me too. I could even give you a sneak peek. I have that, and then I'm actually working backwards. I have the winterclash edit that I was working on until my hard drive crashed. So,
Yeah.
So
What happened? Were you able to recover the whole footage from the winterclash, or?
Everything.
Awesome.
Everything that was on that hard drive got recovered. I found this guy that worked in the city, and that's basically what he does. I called him and he didn't sound too happy. I was like, hey, look, this is the kind of hard drive I have. There's over 3 terabytes worth of footage. What can you do? And I could just tell by his attitude, it just sounded like he hates this kind of work, but that's all he knows.
Okay.
And it gave me kind of a positive, you know, it kind of reinforced positivity. I was like, all right, he'll be able to do this. And sure enough, he called me 6 days later and he was like, yeah, he's like, I recovered everything. And I was like, everything? He's like, everything.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh my God. It was expensive, but to me, it was worth it. It was a very valuable lesson to make sure you back up your footage.
You back up your footage all the time.
And funny thing is, I had a hard drive, a spare hard drive, and I was like, every time I finished a project, I was like, all right, it's time to back everything up. And then another project would come, and I'm like, all right, after this one, I'll back everything up. And then, you know,
after that one, it's like
melted.
Oh man, oh my. And there's anybody from the past that you are dreaming of working with? Making a profile of Alex or Brian Shima or whatever. Like,
oh man, yeah, of course. I mean, there's a lot of ideas. I think not so much of like forcing people to skate, but I do have documentary ideas that I would love to do with like you know, like kind of like what they did with Dave Payne at winterclash, and they kind of curated some of his videos, and he talked like there's such a history already with rollerblading that I don't even think you have to, at least for the old school people who people would love to see skate again. There's so many stories that like that you could just tell and just use old footage, like take Billy O'Neill, for example.
Yeah.
He has so many edits, and I think BMAG did a piece on him. It was written, and he talked about every edit that he was in, and I was like, that would be cool to do video wise. Just have him talk and have like clips playing and talk to whoever, you know, to talk to AJ and see if I can get like if he still has any of that footage, like the raw footage from like behind the scenes or whatever, and make a story out of it, because there's so much to be told there. Like back then, it was just trick after trick after trick. Now it's
true.
Like, what was it like filming that? Like, I won't give too much away, but I know on a recent Jump Street podcast, obviously we know that Shima was on it, and Austin was telling me that he was telling stories that probably no one's ever heard of, and I was like, how cool would it be to have that footage and to tell that story. So that's kind of what I would love to do with anybody from back in the day, and just because there's such a rich history at this point. Yeah.
True. Yeah, it's something that all the time comes to my mind as well. I mean, it couldn't be pretty cool to see a documentary of Dustin Latimer. He's explaining like how Mind Game started, or like Brian Shima, what happened to 4x4 or something like that, right? Could have been pretty cool to see something like that.
I mean, even like do a piece with Julio. I mean, I'm doing something with Julio, but like the more I think about it, I'm like, man, there's so much that he's done that like you could really turn this into like a 5-part project and really. But at the same time, it's a lot of work. It's not easy, especially when you have like a job and you have a kid. It's like and you know, some people live on the West Coast. It's not easy to go back and forth. I would love to, if anybody wants to help me with that. More than welcome. Yeah.
But like your working schedule are like from Monday to Friday, or like freelancing, like I
freelancing.
mean,
Um,
whenever, whatever, and
yeah, whenever. If I'm desperate for money, then I'll find work. This is New York City, and there's plenty of work. There's plenty of people who need video work, and um, a lot of stuff that I've been doing money wise now is all corporate work because it's kind of I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's just the hours are basic like 9 to 5 style hours usually, and it's in and out. I don't have to edit anything. I just show up, I shoot, go home. That's it. I don't have to think
perfect,
about it. Yeah, so
perfect, perfect. That's
I try to
awesome.
look for work like that if I can. If like right now, I'll take whatever I can get. If someone's like, "Hey,
Whatever.
you want to edit something?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem."
I'll do it. Easy. I'm
Yeah,
here. I'm your
whatever it is.
guy.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, before I was doing this full time, I did construction for 10 years, and it was a total opposite. I'd work 7 days a week. I'd work on
No.
holidays. I would work relentlessly, and little by little, I'd buy my camera gear. I'd buy this. I'd buy that, and I would, sometimes try to work weekends and on video, maybe shoot a wedding or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
one day, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the leap and see how that goes. And still here. I'm doing all right.
Awesome. Awesome.
It
No.
works. Yeah.
Great, great, great to hear that. And is it like this competitive? Because from what I've seen and from what I've heard from New York, it looks like one of those super competitive city where like everybody's thinking about like doing work and work and work the hardest and try to earn as much as money as you can and stuff like that. Is it like that, or is this like only my idea of that city?
Uh, I mean, it depends how you want to live your life, really. If you
Okay.
want to be, if you want to be the big money guy, whatever, of course it'll be competitive. I don't know. I guess it's what you make it. If you want to be the best, the absolute best at anything, at anything, and that's just life, then it'll be competitive if that's your state of mind. I don't know. For me, I'm kind of like over it. Like, obviously, I'm here to do the best job that I can possibly do. But if like but at the same time, it's like I don't. Not to say I don't need that job because I do. All right, I do have a
Hmm.
kid, so I have to support my wife and kid. But I don't know. To me, time is more valuable than money. Like if it doesn't work out in video, I could find a job somewhere else. I'm not. Uh, it's not that I'm not intelligent enough, and New York is all about talk, right? If you
Yeah.
could play the
Okay.
game, if you could talk savvy, then you can get the job. It's like sometimes you see people who work these jobs and you're like, how'd that guy get that job? And then you hear the way they talk, you're like, that's how. Or maybe he knows somebody. Just be friendly and show up. Really, it's all about showing up. Right? Show
In a
up, don't
way,
complain, do your job.
it reminds me here in Milan because it's almost the same thing. Like there's a lot of people who are really good in talk and like they're really
Yeah,
good on selling their self.
right.
And then like maybe you see the final job and you tend to the client, dude, do you really pay this amount of money for that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah. You
job?
pay
How
thousands of
did it
dollars for
happen?
yeah, yeah. Maybe I should charge my fee a little higher.
Dude, like I think we are in the
Yeah,
same boat because I'm almost the same as you. I mean, like I'm doing corporate videos. I'm doing like weddings whenever they are because there's still money. And I think the same thing that you're thinking. Like time is the most important value. I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing better than having your own time, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I, this is kind of the reason why I left construction to begin with was because, they would work, Saturdays and Sundays. And although it was optional, if everybody else on the crew is doing it, you can't be the guy who says, no, like, I'm not going to come in because now they're one guy short to bring somebody else in that doesn't know the work. And then, their whole mentality is, well, what's the matter? You don't like making money? And I'm like, well, I like my family. So,
Exactly.
it's like, I'll be 80 years old and what, have a pocket full of money and no memories.
New members with your kid and with your wife and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's more important. So
Skating wise as well.
yeah. So as long as they're taken care of, I'm happy. For me, it doesn't take much for me to be happy. I don't need, a lot of materialistic things. I don't need anything really. I like to travel, and that's not even that expensive anymore.
Exactly.
You fly
True.
out, you
True.
go to winterclash round trip, $300. For some
Dude.
people, that's one night out on happy hour. So
True.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's really what you value, I think. So to go back to that, it can be competitive if you want it to be competitive, if you want
Okay,
to
okay.
be the big money guy. If not, there's plenty of work. Yeah, but there's 8 million people in New York.
Wow.
Someone needs video work somewhere.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
Which would make sense. So I think that like the half an hour is done. JP, I really appreciate the time that you give me
Thank
for
you.
this little chat. And once
Thank
again,
you so much.
big fan. And I just want to say to everybody who's here right now to go to ButterTv, follow the Instagram channel, follow the YouTube channel, and make sure to see and share all the JP's video because in my opinion, they're pretty cool. And so, man, thank you very much for your time. I'm really looking forward to see you soon in New York at the John Bound, or maybe here in Milano.
Or maybe in Milan. Yeah, maybe.
Dude,
I'll take
you
you
have
up
a
on that.
house. You have a house here. My house is your house. So
Thank you.
whenever you want
Vice
it.
versa. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
peace out. Thank you very much for your time, JP.
Peace out.
And
Stay safe out there, everybody.
you too. Make sure
follow the
to don't
guidelines.
go in crowded places. Wash your hands, as I'm saying to everybody, because we underestimate that thing, and we are going to be kind of a lockdown in this lockdown situation for a long time. So thank you again, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye. Bye. Bye.